J'ai la piscine là.
Ça va bien.
Okay, I see it. Yeah. Okay.
Nadi kayak 2 kilometer ya.
Just everything. Yeah. If you click on our faces. Yeah, I close that.
9 Skybox 1.
Чего?
Skybox 1. Skybox 1. Three Skybox 2. 3 Skybox 2. 3 Skybox 2.
एक दिन देगा तो भी डाल देगा। अरे कंप्लेन करके ऐसा हुआ है, ये बोल रहे कंप्लेन नहीं करना कुछ भी नहीं होता। अभी बात चले गया बॉस तक, बॉस बोल रहा है जितना कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में है वो लोग का उतना ही दो
ज़्यादा क्या मांग रहा है? कोई सुन नहीं दे रहा है, ज़्यादा क्या मांग रहा है? इंसान परफेक्ट हुआ, वो छुट्टी भी देता है ज़बरदस्त।
and is linked with a pedestrian mall which has a reflecting pool in the center. The circular concrete shaft is designed with vertical ribs fanning out into a decorative Islamic design. The mukannas at the soffit of the tower head. The tower head comprises 11 levels to incorporate facilities for an observatory, revolving restaurant, telecommunications stations, and Radio and Television Malaysia station. It rises 40 meters with a maximum diameter of 50 meters. The antenna mast, 86 meters in height, includes RTM's antenna aerial and a microwave disc. The site was cleared carefully. The main priority was development in harmony with nature and the environment. The Forestry Department worked closely with site engineers to ensure the natural jungle environment of the area was preserved. There was no unnecessary felling of trees. This nearly 100-year-old chaluto tree, for instance, was carefully protected during construction. A temporary wall and other structures costing 430,000 ringgit were erected to protect it. The transport infrastructure was next on the agenda. A temporary access road was built. Jalan Punca was widened. Existing public utilities were relocated. And the excavation of the site began. Over 50,000 cubic meters of soil and earth were excavated and deposited away from the site. Part of it was later used to backfill the excavation pit. The structural analysis confirmed that no piling was required. The tower would stand on a foundation slab with a diameter of 54 meters. An asphalt layer served as the basis of the foundation slab. Formwork and reinforcement of the massive foundation slab began. The first concrete pouring took place on November 11, 1992. It marked the beginning of a continuous pouring of concrete. Altogether, 5,500 cubic meters of concrete were needed. It was the largest pour carried out in the city. 84 concrete mixer trucks carried high-quality ready-mix concrete from 4 batching plants from around Kuala Lumpur to the site. 6 concrete pumps were used to distribute the concrete over the site, an area of roughly half a football field. The structural development of the foundation was next. The 3-story basement is a concrete cone, 15 meters deep, with a concrete slab at ground level. It was designed in the shape of a cone to take the load of the tower structure, a weight of approximately 100,000 tons. With the completion of the foundation structure, it was now time to work on the main shaft. The available slip form technique was used to erect the shaft. But for the first time in the world, the slip form was to produce ribs as part of the mukannas design. Once the formwork was installed at ground level and the first pour of concrete completed, the formwork rose in 24mm intervals, pushed up by hydraulic jacks. Fresh concrete was poured in layers of 10 centimeters onto the previous pour, and the form jacked up again. This sequence continued without interruption. Reinforcement bars, blockouts, and embedded parts followed suit. All temporary site installations, such as the concrete pumps and tower crane, were fixed onto the slip form and lifted up, inch by inch. The concrete was carried up using winches running in a shaft that subsequently became a lift shaft. Similarly, temporary construction hoists to carry goods and personnel were installed in other lift shafts. Work progress was efficient and continuous. On an average, the concrete shaft rose 3.85 meters a day. On some good days, it rose 5.4 meters, equivalent to constructing a 2-story building within a day. By working 24 hours a day, with 7 days a week of continuous concreting, the shaft was completed within 4 months, right on schedule and in perfect quality. The tower shaft, it stands 316 meters high. The external diameter and the wall thickness varies respectively from 24.6 meters and 1.4 meter thick at ground level to diameter only 13.6 meters and 0.6 meter thick at the top. As such, as it rises above the ground, the shaft descends in diameter to become slimmer at the top. Structural steel works for the tower head began as the height of the tower shaft reached 286 meters. A temporary safety platform was installed at 266 meters. To ensure quality and strength, the special grade 52 structural steel was used in the construction. Over 1,200 tons of this steel was fabricated in the factory, delivered to site and lifted up by the tower crane. Then, each steel beam was fixed exactly into its designated place. At every point in the construction, careful monitoring of the load of the steel structure was essential, as it could not exceed the maximum capacity of the tower crane, which was 7.5 tons. The Bondex steel sheets were placed, and reinforced concrete poured to construct the multi-level floors. Work continued on schedule, and soon the second floor, the site of the revolving restaurant, was ready. Prefabricated concrete wall elements were installed on tower head levels 5 and 6. The tower head was taking firm shape. Trapezoidal-shaped double glazing panels were carefully installed. The fixing of these steel frames was a tedious process, working to clockwork precision. Prefabricated in the factory, the frames were assembled in sections, carried to the site, lifted up by the tower crane, and then lowered through the opening of the secondary staircase onto the respective floors. A forklift then carried the sections to the various locations where they were fixed to the concrete structure. Meanwhile, the interior works of the tower head were in full swing. Once the major structural works of the tower head were completed, the safety platform was removed, and the collar, in the form of mukannas or Islamic designs, installed. Painstakingly, the mukannas motifs were lifted by winches installed on the second floor of the tower head. Piece by piece, the mukannas were carefully fabricated and installed. In the meantime, the foundation works for the touristic building began. The design, in the form of another mukannas resembling flower petals, took shape. Arches were distinctly Islamic. They were specially designed to reflect Malaysia's Islamic heritage. Iranian craftsmen from Kuala Lumpur's twin city of Isfahan arrived to add their skilled touches to the entrance and lobby. Famed for their architectural craftsmanship, the Iranians contributed more than their skills. They breathed color, light and life into a concrete structure. Menara Kuala Lumpur neared completion. The tower crane was dismantled. The final stage of construction commenced with the installation of the antenna mast using permanently installed cranes. The crowning of the dome-shaped antenna head. It marked the final height of the tower, 421 meters. 30 months after the first pour of concrete, the structural construction of the tower was complete. It was now time to equip it with the latest facilities and amenities for comfort, safety and speed. Huge air conditioning and ventilation systems provide refreshing comfort for visitors and staff, while maintaining a cool environment for sensitive high-tech equipment in the telecommunications stations. Safety is an important consideration. Every possible measure has been taken to minimize fire risks. Usage of fire-resistant materials, installation of smoke and heat detectors, firefighting equipment, and a direct link to the main office of the fire brigade. High-speed lifts moving at a speed of 22 kilometers per hour carry visitors to the tower head. Building maintenance equipment have been installed for regular maintenance and cleaning of the tower head and shaft. From an aerial viewpoint, the tower bears a striking resemblance to a Malaysian fruit, the pineapple or nanas. Perhaps it isn't really a coincidence. After all, the tower is located at Bukit Nanas. Menara Kuala Lumpur, a spectacular landmark in a spectacular city. A state-of-the-art transmission tower for telecommunication and broadcasting facilities. A tourist attraction with restaurants, souvenir shops, pedestrian mall, observation platforms, and an open-air amphitheater. And above all, an enduring symbol of the reality of the nation's dream come true.
1996, Menara Kuala Lumpur is officially opened by the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Yang Amat Datuk Seri Dr. Mahathir Mohamad.
Saya dengan sukacitanya dan dengan penuh kesyukuran kepada Allah Subhanahu wa taala meresmikan Menara Kuala Lumpur.
Menara Kuala Lumpur, a creative manifestation of the best in East and West, transforming and making a quantum leap into the technological advance of tomorrow.